Hello, hello, and welcome. Come on in, sit on down, prepare yourselves for episode 4 of Disappointing Bodywork. In this episode, you'll be watching me butcher bodywork on my little truck. But before we get into the video, I want to go over some tools and their prices. That way you can get kind of an idea of what it cost me to absolutely wreck the bodywork on this truck. Okay, so here's a list of everything I used. It's not exactly everything I used. You know, like if I found something that's cheaper but better, I put it on here. So it's not exactly everything I used. But first up, we got the drill. You know, you're going to need a drill. Don't need nothing fancy. Just that's the cheapest one I could find. That's pretty much exactly what I used. Then you need a sander. That's cheaper than the sander I had, but better. So it's a DA sander. And then some sanding disc, what grit you need to go on the sander. Then you'll need some sanding blocks. I didn't really use any sanding blocks, but they're much safer. So just bite the bullet, buy some sanding blocks. Then sandpaper to go on the sanding blocks, an eraser wheel to get rid of the decals and all the little sticky stuff on that you can't really get off. That eraser wheel will help a lot. An extension cord to run the drill, to run the sander. Then some spray away to prep and clean before you apply stuff like Bondo and everything. Then you need some masking tape. That way you don't scuff everything in the world up with your sandpaper. You mask it off, protect it a little bit. Okay, so we got some Goo Gone. That stuff works pretty good for getting rid of, the sticky, gooey crap that don't want to come off. Use that with the eraser wheel. Peels it right off. Scraper. It's a glass scraper with a razor blade. That's for helping getting off some of the thick, like, I don't know, it had rain guards on it. So it had like these big glue strips from the rain guards. That's the eraser blade helps take those off. Okay, then we got some SOS pads, and that's to do the initial wash down of the truck. It don't look like it's been washed in forever, so to actually dig in and get the grime and crud out of the paint, I'm going to use the SOS pads. Because the paint's already destroyed, we're going to be painting it. SOS pads will be fine. Then you got some wire wheels. Your wire wheels, like there's some spots that's got some, little bit past the stage of surface rust, and wire wheels will eat that down. And then some primer, so the spots that you wire wheel down, you want to hit it with some primer. That way if it rains or gets moisture on it, it won't re-rust. So once you get the rust knocked down off with the wire wheel and whatnot, you sit with some primer and to keep it from rusting again. Then you just got some body filler and some spreaders. Now, remember, you can always buy better tools to do a better job, but I'm poor, so I can't afford those. But now that we've got that out of the way and you kind of got a price of what it's going to cost, let's get into the video. I'm a moron, so do what I do at your own risk. In this episode, we're going to be washing old Ugly to get her ready for some paint. Oh yeah, we're going to be throwing the world's most cheapest and jankiest paint job known to man on that bad boy. Bad girl, whatever it is. I don't know how it identifies. I don't really care. But we're going to be washing it with something unusual. SOS pads, some steel wool. It's really, really good for paint. These things are. I'm just kidding. Don't do this on your good paint job. Only do it on your paint job that looks like that. Because, you can't really make that one worse. But anyway, I don't think it's ever had a washing in the entire 24 years it's been on this planet. So it's got a lot of grime and stuff and caked on it, growing on it. No, it's bad. I don't want to be scrubbing my brains out. I just kind of want to scoot that stuff off there and get it nice and clean. The reason being is because when you sand it, you don't want the paint to be dirty. If the paint's dirty when you sand it, you can eat that dirt down into the sand scratches. And then like you're not gonna get it out. So you want to kind of get the dirt off of it first and then sand it, because you don't want to eat that dirt down into the paint. It'll cause you adhesion problems and it'll cause you all kinds of problems. So make sure you paint the vehicle, the surface, the whatever it is that you're painting. Make sure it's clean before you even start sanding it. Well, let's get into it. Well, we got her scrubbed down, and it's getting kind of dark on me. There's a little bit more to do to clean and stuff, but a big chunk of it we got done, and MSLS pads seem to work pretty good. Like that paint, like it's peeled up. It's real rough. It's got like a real rough texture, and the dirt sticks to it, and things grow out of it. I mean, that happens when you don't never clean or care for your paint. But the SOS pads eat down in there and got most of it out. So I think tomorrow, if we get time, we might start sanding on it. That's gonna be fun. Well, yesterday we washed her up, got her pretty clean. But before we actually get into sanding on her, we need to do some cleaning, like them old bug guards and old rain guards, stuff like that stuck on there. It's still got the sticky adhesive crap and the stickers. Got to get the stickers off, which most of them, because the truck was so abused, it's washed off with the pressure washer. But there's still some stickers we need to get off there. Now, we're not really going to remove anything else off the truck. We'll leave the badges, we'll leave the mirrors, we'll leave all that stuff, because we're going back with the same color. And if you do it right, mask it right, sand it good and everything, do 90% of your paint's look comes from the prep. So we're just going to leave all that stuff on there. We may, if necessary, remove some stuff, but I don't really want to, because I am lazy. So I guess we'll get into some of that today. Mainly, I think the only thing I'm going to have time for today is removing some of the sticky adhesive from the bug guards and rain guards. So like this stuff, we got to get it off there, get this off there. See, and then there's, they had rain guards and stuff on there. Now you can do this a myriad of ways, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a windshield wiper scraper. It's a razor blade. Scrape most of it off, and then use some Goo Gone. It works pretty good. And these are little rubber wheels that go on a drill. They work pretty good for taking off stickers and whatever, sticky tape residue, whatever. They work pretty good at taking it off. They work best if you use some kind of lubricant, like Goo Gone. Goo Gone works really, really good. Another thing that works really, really good is crap hanging in there. Haha. WD-40. That works pretty good. I don't know why, but so I'll get into that, I guess. Well, we got the stickers off and the emblems off. I wasn't going to take the emblems off, but they're in pretty bad shape. I mean, they pretty much, when I started taking them off, they just kind of fell apart. So I may leave them off. I may get some new ones. I don't know. They're not that expensive, but they're in pretty bad shape, so I just peeled them off. But you kind of see, instead of using the SOS pads to clean most of the residue that's left off from the eraser wheel, use Goo Gone or something, but I'm going to be painting the truck, so I don't really care to use some abrasive stuff and scuff it off her, because I mean, it's going to be getting new paint on it. But the next go around, I should be sanding on it. I'm going to take this grill off so I can paint it and fix some of the cracks and stuff in it, you know. I'm going to take it off. All the bolts come out just fine. All them little bolts. All of them, you know, it all come out just fine. Well, I mean, that one's out, but I just kind of left it in there. This one. See that one? It's gonna come out. Won't come out. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break it. The joys of working on clapped out garbage. Okay, I decided to take the grill off. You see me have my Moron fit there earlier because of the rusted out bolt. Anyway, I decided to take it off. I'm not gonna buy a new one. I told you I want to do this as cheap as possible. So you can see it's got some cracks in it. See? I am gonna try and fix that and make it look as pretty as possible before I buy a new one. So figured it'd be a whole lot easier to just take it off the truck than try to fix it on the truck. One more thing I wanted to add. You might have noticed that I didn't mention sanding blocks. Some of you guys might have caught that. That's because I'm not going to use any. Maybe one. And I don't even know where it's at, so probably not. Aha, here it is. Little cheapo hard one for the really flat surfaces. The ones that are pretty flat, like a tailgate. I'm probably use that on a tailgate. But the reason being is I've sanded quite a bit of stuff, and I'm pretty confident in my own hand. So no blocks. But blocks are better. Use sanding blocks. If you want to add that to the price, maybe I'll go buy some sanding blocks. Just I haven't bought. I mean, that little cheap hard rubber thing. I don't know how much it costs. Probably $5 or something. But that's for like sanding wood. I want to use some auto body sanding blocks. Maybe I'll look up prices on them and add them on there. But those are better. Those are way safer. They apply pressure evenly. Your hands, you can dig in with your fingers, and you'll have, like, you'll be able to see your fingers in the paint, because it won't be level, won't be even. There'll be little swoops where your fingers was. But I'm pretty confident that I can do it just by hand. It's easier on me, so I'm gonna do it that way. Sanding blocks. Buy you some sanding blocks. Well, yesterday we sanded the hood, but if you notice today we have a cousin here to help us. So we get some free labor. We got a young buck out there wanting to learn how to do some stuff, and that's pretty much what it's all about right there, getting kids into it. But I'm gonna let him take that side, and I'm gonna take the other. Alright, it's the next day. I just thought I'd pop in here and let you know that you're not going to get to see much of the work getting done this go around because it's raining. Yay. You also notice that we don't have our free labor with us today. That's because you can't drag a young kid out here in the rain and get them sick. But I'm going to drag myself out here in the rain. Hopefully I don't get sick. But, you know. Hey, it's all part of it, of having no garage, or no money, or no time, or no whole bunch of other stuff. So, if I figure something out to keep my camera dry, I'll drag you out there and let you watch me work. Alright, another little trick is, I mean, you can get these spreaders for like $2 or $3, so it's not a big deal. But once you get once you get done using the spreader, like you got it all spread out, take what's left, scoop it up on there, just like I've done. I've just scooped it up on there, right? And then let it harden. And then when it hardens, you can flex this, and it'll crack that off there, and it makes your spreaders much easier to clean. If you're gonna keep them, you're not just gonna throw them away, but I like to use them until, you know, you can't really get no more use out of them. So that's one way that helps you clean them. All right, that's good and dried up now. I'll show you what I was talking about. You just bend it, breaks it right off. Having that junk on the back, just bend it, flex it off. Hey, listen, I'm no professional, so I don't know what good body work is supposed to look like, but I know enough to know that good body work don't look like this. So all right, let's see. All right, we're gonna dry this off, clean it off, some spray away, make sure there ain't no dust or nothing that the Bondo will stick to on there. To properly do this, you would grind all that off and do it properly. Too lazy. I'm just gonna leave that on there and put Bondo over top of it. All right, now we're gonna spread our Bondo Just a old box I got here with an air filter in it. Just clean it off, make sure it ain't dirty. I'll show you how to spread Bondo. How I do it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you guys how I do it. Because I am not a professional. But anyway, let me go get an old stick. Alright, we're going to scoop our Bondo out here. We're actually going to need quite a bit. That's probably too much, but you want to make sure that I'd rather have too much than not enough. Now normally, you just put your little bead, a good bead, across the top. Oh. Alright, I like to mix this up a little bit here before I squeeze it out. But just run your little bead across the top. Alright, I'm going to add just a little more because I have such a big pile here. Now, you just mix it up. And when you mix it up, you scoop spread. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Scoop spread. Scoop spread. Scoop spread. Got a little bit too much to do that with, but what you want to do is scoop and spread to try to keep air bubbles out of it. Which I'm not doing a very good job at. So. I want to give you a refresh of what the truck looked like before we started in on the body work, and then I'll throw up a overview here, or whatever you want to call it, of now that I'm finished with the body work. Thank y'all for watching my video of me butchering my bodywork. In the next video, we will be painting the truck, in which hopefully I can surprise you at how cheap and effective you can be. So until then, bye.